Merry meet and welcome to the AstroTarot Show. I'm your celestial host, Serona Rose. And boy, I thought I wasn't going to be able to make this because I have been doing a little bit of traveling, but I'm so glad that I was able to have the time to share the astrology with you for the week to come of November the 9th through the 16th. There's a lot of energy here that's happening, and I think I said before that November will be a month of subtle change, and it's going to be powerful change. That'll be it will be that understanding that time changes everything, and I think that this is a good example of showing how time does, how cycles work, and how time does change as we're moving into one energy into the other. The pressure buildup that we had for our full moon we just had in Taurus, which was a lunar eclipse, that was a culmination energy, and that is one where there's a lot of built up energy going on. There's a lot of things happening at this time. We have the Saturn and Uranus aspect still going on. So we have that push and pull kind of thing with the new and the old. This is amazingly, that new moon took place on the 8th, and since I do record these ahead of time, I am not there to see the come out on the 9th, but I will say that this is going to be a very how would I say, dramatic day. There's a lot of things going on for the election day, and this is a pivotal point in the United States. I don't cover other countries because that's not where I live, and there's other astrologers that cover what is going on in their country and how their charts relate to their country. So I do know that in all of the whole world, there's a lot of change that's happening in different countries. There's a lot of revolting. There's a lot of demonstrations that's going on. And I want to take us back a little bit because, astrology is about cycles, right? And I want to take us back to around the mid-60s. I think this is a good time. The mid-60s, when Uranus and Pluto met up in Virgo. They opposed Saturn in Pisces, and this was really about social change. So this is what we're seeing echoes of. These planets are having aspects again, and it is, it is encouraging that kind of growth. And remember, Uranus is shock and awe. So I want to talk about the movement that we have that is going on within our planets coming up. So for the rest of this week, what we're going to have, the moon on the 9th moving into the sign of Gemini at 8:37 a.m. And then on the 11th, which is Veterans Day, and happy Veterans Day to all you veterans. I'll give you a message in just a moment. The moon will move in Cancer, and that's a wonderful energy to have for that day. And then on the 14th, the moon is going to move into Leo at 7:48 a.m. On the 16th, the moon will be moving into Virgo at 8:04 a.m. And then Venus will move in Sagittarius at 1:09 a.m. So this is a good energy for Venus as she will be moving out of the underworld and into Sagittarius, which is about the freedom. It's about truth and finding that deep truth. Now, one planet I want to talk about is Venus, and she's having a lot of different movements going on. But before I get to that, I want to back us up a little bit. Back us up just a little bit. And we're going to talk about this unfolding of energy that's happening. So we just had our full moon in our Taurus, in our lunar eclipse. So, and it's a bit too soon to see the unfolding of these energies that's taken place. And although we can see little bits of it as it is beginning to happen, we are seeing more secrets come out. We're seeing more things that's hitting the light that wouldn't have before hit the light. We are also seeing secrets being uncovered. A lot of underhanded deals that are being uncovered. Those places that were said to support the highest good of humanity, we're seeing where there are some tainted lines within that. And we are seeing this more of, it's an unraveling of something that was put together not on completely stable ground. So this week we'll have many aspects. Energetically, it will be push and shove. So again, this is this push-pull energy, but we do have other planets that are supporting us in this. So hopefully that will, excuse me, that will kind of even out the playing field for us. We can also feel like, with Mars being in retrograde, we can feel like we're spinning our tires in mud and we're doing all this work and we're not going anywhere, but you are. You may not be going as fast as you want to go, but you are moving and you are making progress. And, we're going to have to understand this, because I see this more and more. And it's not that, it's not that I want to pick and be picky and choosy, but when people are looking at things, we're so used to living in a society of instant gratification that we expect that in everything. But we have to understand that our mundane world and the astral world is more of, they're different. They work different. And even our planet doesn't work instantly. Flowers you don't just plant a seed and then boom, you have a complete plant at its highest potential. It is time. It is a process. It's an unfolding. And it is the beauty of life that is unfolding before us. There is something that, the earth is so magical. We've just forgotten it. And, and it seems now is a good time that many are bringing it back. But we also have to understand it before we jump in it, right? And we have to understand this as we are allowing this unfoldment to happen. So on Veterans Day, the moon is going to move into Cancer, and that'll bring an energy of compassion, which is something that is greatly needed at this time. Pallas Athena is also in Cancer, and she's not in her warrior mode in Cancer. She's more in that wisdom and the compassion, and she is offering us wisdom to our emotional self, and reminding us not to overreact to our emotions when things happen and our emotions flare. Let's sit with them a minute so we can understand them. Instead of acting on them, we can respond to them appropriately. This isn't warrior energy. So this is energy of compassion as well as intelligence. This is wanting to get to the bottom of things. So again, this is more energy going into this week of finding clarity and getting to the bottom of things, and to really remind us, Pallas Athena reminds us to do not act without wisdom. And that is a very powerful message from her. So remember that eclipses are all about change, okay? They are a pattern of change as well. So we're just, having our eclipses on the Taurus and Scorpio axis. And these are opposites. The opposite sign of the zodiac sign of Taurus is Scorpio. So let's look at Scorpio for a minute. Scorpio is the underworld. It's the secrets. It's underhanded money. It's also big money, like investments and things like that. And it also likes to investigate. Scorpio will dig deep. It will go the extra mile to find the information that it needs. And it is a water sign, so it's connected to our emotions. So here again, we are having the echo of Pallas Athena saying, do not act without wisdom. Now let's look at Taurus. Taurus is associated with the earth element. And Taurus represents a solid foundation. Taurus is practical. It's down to earth. And it is also, of course, connected to the ground, to our earth. And it is connected to nature and stability, security, those kind of things. And again, this is practical. This is about our fundamental security. So this is, building our foundation and doing those things that make sense. So Taurus understands the process of life. And Taurus will also it's connected to the ground, and it is all that heals us. Okay? Now Taurus is also, just like Scorpio, connected to finance, and it is connected to those things that are dependable, using our money in dependable and smart ways. Taurus is the producer. So, and Taurus is very responsible sign. So we have these two, and the North Node is in Taurus and the South Node is in Scorpio. And remember, the North Node is about our the collective future of where we're going, and the South Node is the past. So, and as Uranus has been in a close connection with the North Node, this is bringing a lot of change to our world. And I really like to reiterate this because this scenario is bringing fear to the forefront for people. And this is Scorpio energy. Scorpio is about those deep-seated fears, and those fears that you may not even know about, or you may not even be conscious about. So when we are reacting, when we are blowing up and we're having this lightning bolt blow through us, we have to stop for a second and consider common sense and listen to wisdom and reason. And this is where we have to just release that older way of responding and look at those ways of responding in a practical manner, one that makes sense. So we're not, okay, this has to change, so we're stopping it today and this is going to happen tomorrow. That is just not how things happen, there is a process, there is an unfoldment that has to happen. And we can't, we can't put the cart before the horse, right? We have to understand that there is a process of how things are going. And when we are facing these things that challenge us, it can trigger our deepest fears and send us into a chaotic spin. And that is where Taurus really comes in, because Taurus can ground us. So, please, if you're having trouble with this energy and it's too chaotic for you, and you're having trouble with anxiety and whatnot, go outside and be with nature. Walk on the ground barefooted, lay down. There's times I've had to lay completely down on the ground and lay there for a while just to release, just to allow the earth to absorb that. The earth has energy, and it helps our body, it heals our body. And everybody is understanding this whole process of earthing. Well, go a step further than that, because study it, how that happens, study it, what happens, and how the energy of the earth can heal us, because you will find out a lot of information in that will help you. Now, Taurus is very grounded energy. He's trustworthy and warm. And Taurus is connected to the planet Venus, which is our goddess of beauty and love and the arts. And she's also about money as well. Venus likes the finer things in life. She loves to pamper herself and, and honor herself. She is honoring her temple. And that's one thing that many of us, we fail to do sometimes, is to honor our temple. And honoring our temple is all the way around. It is not just about dressing on the outside, putting the makeup on and fixing the hair and wearing nice clothes. It's not just about that. It is about how much sleep we get, how we arrange our day, and how we can schedule our lives so we're not running around like chicken with our head cut off. We're not just in this chaotic spin. This is that grounding is about taking care of the vessel, making time to eat correctly, to exercise, to move the body, to dance. And that's part of the art as well, dancing. Feel this energy vibrating through your body and move with the rhythm of it. That is all about Venus. And Venus is going through the underworld right now. And in Scorpio, she's peeling off the layers that she was programmed to believe that defined her. The way you dress defines you. This is your wealth defines you. How many followers you have on different social media sites define who you are. All of those outside things. Because remember, when the goddess enters the underworld, when she goes through the 7 gates, which are the 7 chakras, that's right, guys, she is having to release things that are not of her person. She's having to release her crown. She's having to release her garter, her ring, her dress. So she is completely nude, and she is as bare as she was the day that she was born. So you see how this is a peeling away of that programmed of this is the way you're supposed to be. And when she does move in Sagittarius, that is going to change the course tremendously, because this is when she is opening up to that greater energy, to hope. This is going to, as she is dissolving that darkness within her, she's also going to be able to see the light, because we are having winter solstice coming up. So she is, in essence, risen from the dead. And that is a term that goes back thousands of years. So as we prepare ourselves to for the winter solstice, and as she enters in Sagittarius, Mercury is not going to be too far behind, and then the sun will move on the 22nd into Sagittarius, so that will be a shift in energy completely. Now, after the eclipse, the sun makes a square with Uranus, and this is the day after, this is on the 9th, and this is the day after the U.S. elections. So this is going to be about going against the grain and breaking free from what holds us back. We are, in essence, being disillusioned from what was placed before us. We are having reality checks because we're having several planets that are squaring Saturn as well. So these reality checks are really going to get to us. Saturn, it is the as planets are squaring Saturn, this is going to be they are also going to be trining Neptune. So it is, we visit Neptune and we dive into this sea of dreams and fantasy, and then Saturn says, wait a minute, okay, that's not practical. Be practical. This is great, but we have to first do the steps to get there. Again, we can't expect instant gratification. We have to understand the process. Now, on the 10th, Venus trines Neptune, and that brings a wonderful energy to the mix. This is romance, this is beauty, and this is an energy of sweetness. It's nice and sweet. Then on the 10th, the sun squares Saturn, and that, again, like I said, is bringing that reality check to us that, hey, we have to put things in order. We can't get carried away. There is a process. On the 12th, Mercury trines Neptune, and this is very smooth energy. This is I would urge you, if you're not already, to start a dream journal, because this is through our dreams we could be having visions and messages within our dreams. So make sure that you take that extra moment when you wake up in the morning time to to mentally go back into your dream so you can remember it. Don't let it go, because there are messages that Mercury is sending to us through these, through the Neptune energy there. So pay attention to that. And we, on the 13th, Venus is going to sextile Pluto, then Mercury will on the 14th, and the sun will on the 18th. And this is more secrets coming to the surface. So again, expect more unveiling of things that have been hidden from us, things that were meant to stay hidden from us, underhanded deals, things like that. Expect that to keep coming. And they're coming out in a way that we're going to be able to integrate them and going to be able to respond to them instead of react. So we are working our way into a grand trine with the sun, Mercury, and Venus, with the moon in Cancer and Neptune in Pisces. So that is really going on, and that is adding some some good energy there. That is some good energy. I don't think any of the planets are bad, or any of the energy is bad. These challenges are there to wake us up and let us see, and like, wait a minute, because when we get lax, we mix stuff, right? When we get just, in our ruts, sometimes we don't catch what's going on around us. And these trines to Neptune will be also trines to Jupiter that I will talk about in a later show. So that is going to add more optimism because, like I said, this October and November, about the end of October and mid-October to mid-November, that's like the crescendo. It's going to be happening all, the rest of the year, but it's in a smoother way because we have other planets there supporting us to help us integrate this and helping us process what is going on. Venus will trine Jupiter on the 15th, and Mercury will trine Jupiter on the 16th, and then the Sun will trine Jupiter on the 20th, and that's going to be a culmination of that energy that is building with Jupiter. Remember, Jupiter is all about going big, so any sign he is in, he's going to go big with that. So when these planets, when the Sun and when Venus, Mercury, and the Sun move into Sagittarius, that will again see we will again feel that big shift, and we're going to be able to see the bigger picture here. We can get caught up in the illusion. We can get caught up in what's going on here, that we ignore what's going on all around us. It's just like the magic magician on the stage. He's getting your attention here while something else is happening. And we're going to have to step back and look at the bigger picture. It's not just this and this. There is a bigger picture here that we are needing to see, and it will help us. It will help us consciously evolve and grow. So that, we can learn to start shifting ourselves into those ways that are of the highest good of humanity. Again, it has to be a shift. It has to be a process. It can't just be done overnight. That's how things go straight into chaos and break. We have to allow this. So the next half of the month, the Sun is going to enter Sagittarius on the 22nd. We're also going to have a new moon in Sagittarius on the 23rd, right the day after, at 5:57 p.m. And then that is also the day that Jupiter goes direct. So we will cover more about that in our next show. There is a lot of things that are going on. There's a lot of aspects. It is intense. Yes, I know. There's a lot of, and many people can feel this. If you're very sensitive, you can feel this unstable energy. And I just want to let you know that there is energy there that is going to support the smoothness of it. It's going to support more of a way for us to come out of that fear and that chaos and that instability. There's a way for, there's energy that supports us coming out of that so that we can create that. Remember, Taurus is all about practicality and stability. And when we look at Scorpio, his planet is Pluto, which is still in Capricorn. So remember, he is taking away all of that top government, that top, those top places that are in charge of majorities of people, and those that are not in the highest good with the people are going to keep crumbling away. Pluto, if something is not working, he says, okay, this is not working, get rid of it. There's no if and buts about it. This is not working. We see it's not working, so we have to get rid of this and we have to do something new. But again, remember, we have to take baby steps. We want instant gratification, and we have to understand the cycles and the processes that this world and our planets, that in our heavenly bodies, all of them that surround us, all of this affects each other. We are all in this together. So keep yourself optimistic. Remember, we have to go through the dark to see the light. You know, see the bigger picture of what's going on. Look at things. Look at both sides of things. Step back and really take what is happening in. Remember, things are about cycles, and watch how they unfold. It's a different time. It's a different energy. And that's the norm. But underlying. So see the bigger picture, and yeah, I will come back to you next week and talk to you more about the astrology and what's going on. It's truly fascinating. I could talk on and on with you about all of this, but alas, I don't have that much time. So remember to stay tuned to the tarot part of the show. I almost called it the divination because I use oracle cards as well. And I am known to bring in some cartomancy. So let's see which cards I have that call to me to read to you for this reading for the week. So stay tuned, and I'll see you back in a moment. Blessings.